Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Liz and I kind of talk about random productivity tips, a lot of coding, a lot of just random videos and things that I'm working on as I navigate through life. So today we're going to be talking about resumes. So a lot of you have been asking me what's a good software to build a resume. Is it okay to deviate from the standard Word resume, etc., etc. So I went and I made my very own resume. Not that I necessarily need it at the moment, but it's probably a very good habit to get into building a resume once a year and just updating it for like emergencies or just, I don't know, it's just a good thing to have. It's like having like a savings account, you know, you just want to just keep your eye on it every now and then. So I hit my 2-year work anniversary recently. So I graduated college. I did everything that, they tell you to do. Go to college, get the degree, go get a job. Okay, so I did those things and I worked here about 2 years and I'm like, crap, I haven't updated my resume in like a year. So I went ahead and updated it for you guys. And this is what I used. I decided to use Canva because I did a video earlier on Canva and presentations and I noticed they had a resume section and I'm like, this might change the game. So I believe you can still use these templates even if it's not, if you don't have Pro. So I have my screen pulled up here. Now, just to give you a little background, I look at a lot of people's resumes. So I manage a team of 3. And I've hired many, many people so far, even more people than the 3 that I now manage. And I've seen a lot of resumes and they're so boring. They're like the standard Word, you know what I'm talking about, where it's just like list. And that's fine when you're graduating college, but I'm thinking my resume, I want it to have a little pizzazz. I want it to like stand out. I want it to have colors. I want it to have pictures. I want visuals. So what I did is I went on Canva and I picked out some designs that I thought were good. So you can kind of see what I kind of tried to play with. This one looked a little too boxy for me. This one didn't have enough color. This one felt too like I don't know. It just felt too like you're trying too hard. And then I tried to play around with this one. But the one that I ended up going with was this one. So I'm going to go ahead and open it. And so I'm just going to zoom in here and we'll just start at the top. So let me just close this. So we'll start at the top and it's kind of got a nice feel to it. So let me just zoom out a bit. Well, maybe a little more in. So we'll look at it kind of from afar. From afar, it's like, okay, it's nice looking, right? You've got a nice picture. Your name is pretty loud. You got some current projects. Well, it's got a nice feel to it. So let's zoom in and kind of start at the top. So let's zoom out a little bit. Here we go. So I got it. The first step is to get a nice professional photo. Okay. Now it's not like you have to have a professional actually take the photo. I just had my friend and I walked out to the woods and made them take a picture of me. So it really was not that difficult. Now the cool thing about Canva is you can literally get your upload and drag it in. Like I just uploaded the photo and then I dragged it in here and it popped it into this nice little circle. So that was really nice. And how it works is you have, different things and you can expand and close and whatever you want to do. You can group things and make them smaller. So that's an option. So if you kind of look standard, you want your picture and you want your name and maybe your title. Okay. Then you scroll down and I don't have anything confidential in here because I don't want my resume to have any I had to sign like non-disclosure agreements for the projects that I work on. So I have kind of the current projects that I'm working on. So you can kind of see the dollar amounts, what I was doing for those projects. And then I have work history. Now, what I love about this is on the left, I kind of have like this smaller chunk block. And then on the right, I have your main stuff. So let's focus on work history, right? I put a little cone because I'm in construction and I'm like, this is going to represent me. And I'm totally a person who would put visuals on her resume. So like it totally fits. So if we go down here, I kind of have the company I work for, my job title, and then a little bit about the work that I've done, right? So you can kind of brag a little. This is the time to brag, right? So you got your current projects. The reason I'm doing like current projects versus work history is because like my projects come and go very quickly. So it's good to have like what you're currently working on, because then they can ask questions about that. And then also have like what you've been doing the last few years. So that's kind of the intent there. Now I made this just for you guys. So this is what if I were to go out into the job market, this is what I would present to the world. So if we continue down, I have some visuals, right? Because it's fun. Like, why wouldn't I do this? And then I even put like a little drop shadow. That's when you know you're anal, is when you put a freaking a shadow box around items in your freaking resume. So I put little pictures, right, of some big projects that I worked on or whatever. I didn't put the names of the companies because it's like, that's kind of confidential information, right? Now, I do have highlighted skills, right? So I am certified in VBA. So I want to highlight that, right? Certified in CSS. You get to build yourself. Like, this is it's so fun. Like, why wouldn't I enjoy this? And then I'm on like an industry advisory council for UP, which represent, you know. So there's that. Now I'm going to cover up my contact information because I don't want anyone contacting me necessarily. So just ignore that. And we're going to go into education. So now that I'm in education, we have like little books for education, you know. When I do my school that I went to, you can say, you know, anything you want to brag about, like valedictorian. Why would I not brag about that? Why would I not put my GPA on here? It's a freaking high GPA. I slaved for that GPA, right? Dean Scholar Award, minor in mathematics. Like, why would I not put these things on my resume? So this is kind of the gist of the resume. So I'm going to go ahead and kind of scroll up again and zoom out a little bit so you can kind of get a feel for the flow of it. I feel like it turned out super well and I had so much fun building this. And like, if I were looking at this resume, if someone put this on my desk and it was somebody else, I would thoroughly enjoy the effort that went into this, right? It's fun. It means you don't take life too seriously. It's not like a list, like a text block, because when I look at this, it takes me like 3 minutes to read. You get all the gist in 3 seconds. And the cool thing is you go ahead and you can download it in as a PDF standard or picture or whatever. I download it as a PDF. And then you just save it for a rainy day, you know, like it's good to have one on demand. Like, what if you get fired, you know, then you need a resume and then you're spending all this time trying to remember what you did. Well, where you could just update this every 6 months. And that's what I've been doing recently, is updating it. So it's like up to date, just in case. It's like having an emergency fund, right? Like, just in case, especially these weird times with COVID, it's a good idea to update your resume. Now, as you can see, I do have job experience. So it's a little bit easier to write a resume when you have job experience. Now, if you're out of college, you would still have the education system or education section. You do have highlighted skills because you probably are certified in something or took some kind of class, right? Your work history would be, you know, it's going to be lackluster, but there's not enough room to really have too much in there. So I would put like any papers you worked on or any like big projects that you did in school, or if you did an internship, that would go in the work history. And then your current projects would be like anything you're doing for fun and like that's like educational, that can be skewed as educational. Like maybe you're taking a side class, or, you know, you're working on a current project, like maybe you're building your own website, you know? So that's cool. Like in my contact information, I put my website and I was so excited to put that. Now I'm still embarrassed because it's not actually up and running yet, but eventually it will be. So I highly, highly suggest Canva. It is so easy to work with. Like you can literally just extend and move things. You can undo it. You can, this is grouped right here, so you can ungroup and make the circle a little bigger. You can extend and it tells you like where it lines with stuff, so you can kind of see how it has that purple line. You can change the different, like this cone would be kind of cool up there. So there's some stuff that can be done. You could make it look prettier. But here's some other templates that I also found that I thought were pretty cool. This one's called Blue and Black Modern. Now this actually isn't filled out with my information. I don't even know whose information this is, so reallyGreatSite.com, great. So I have like a picture, and then this thing was kind of cool, I thought. This would be also a really good resume, like I like it. It just doesn't have the pizzazz that I want, you know? And then I tried to play around with this one, but it just, I fell in love with the other one. I'm sorry, I can't help myself. So if you zoom in a little bit, this one's also like pretty quality, I would say. But it just wasn't, it wasn't speaking to me like the other one I had. I don't know. This is a phenomenal resume builder, and I'm pretty sure these were all free. So let me know if they're not, because I don't want to be advertising if it's not free. But that's kind of the gist on how I made my resume. If you want tips for like how to maneuver in Canva, I find it very like intuitive. But if you want me to do a video on that, totally doable. But I do think that this is a really awesome way to make your resume kind of pop. And you can change the colors, like this color here, you could change to any color that you want. It picks colors from here as well. So in this photo, here are some colors that would work with that photo. So it's some really powerful stuff, guys. So this, totally recommend. As somebody who hires engineers, this is a phenomenal resume, but I'm biased because I made it myself. But if this came across my desk, I'd be like, wow, interview instant. So definitely look into this. I'm trying to think of other engineering related things. It's really just being honest and open about what you're working on and being excited. Like, don't put anything on your resume that you're not excited to talk about, you know? Like, they could talk to me about any of these projects and I would be very excited to explain. Although I just love this resume. It just, it's the best. It's the best resume I've ever made. So I'm going to keep doing this. So every year I think I'm going to do it every 6 months. I'm going to update and then I'll post my new one so you guys can kind of follow me on my journey. But this one's, I think, pretty good. And I'm interested to see like what other resumes are out there and what you guys think are good resumes. But this is what I suggest. Canva, great site, and use it and let me know how it goes. So comment below if you are looking to have, you're starting your career or you're partway through your career and you wanted to beef up your resume. Just comment below if you like Canva or if you are using a different site to create these things. I would love to know. But that is it for today, and I hope you enjoyed me sharing. I gave you a lot of personal information, but I will talk to you guys later.